Hi, this is Kevin Wells of North Group Real Estate here in Greenville, South Carolina, and I wanted to create a short video today on the topic of increasing rates and how that's impacting purchasing a home. And so the first thing I want to address is fear. A lot of people have this fear going on right now that the economy is going to crash, we're going to have this Great Depression or this huge recession like we did in 2008. And guys, that's just simply not true. So I understand people have their theories and things like that, but it's just simply not true that just because we're having an increase in interest rate and prices have gone up doesn't mean we're going to have some huge crash. So first and foremost, I definitely want to address that. The reason why we had the crash back in 06 to 08 is because people, or lenders rather, and appraisers were just giving money to any and everybody. So that is not the case right now. Right now, what we're seeing is actually a healthy economy, because when interest rates go up, when inflation goes up, it means we typically are having a healthy economy. And we all knew this was coming. Rates have been at 2 to 3% for about 3 or 4 years now. I mean, eventually this was going to come. So, right now we're at 5.5%, and it seems like a lot, and it seems uncomfortable. But the only reason why it's uncomfortable is because it's not something that we're used to. So that'd be one thing I'd like to address. The other thing I'd like to address with that is that I was on the phone with with a lender that I typically refer people to, and did you know that the average interest rate over 50 years has been 8%? That's right, 8% over 50 years. So that means that we're still way under the average. So taking the advantage of having a 5.5, or even 6% interest rate is still better than what people were paying on an average of 50 years. Now, will we see a shift? I don't know. But right now, that's the shift. And the other shift is that prices are increasing because inventory's low. So we're going to see both hits. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad time to purchase a home. All it means is that we might need to make a move sooner rather than later. I've had a lot of buyers who sat on the fence and sat on the fence and sat on the fence, and 2 years later they're telling me they wish they would have bought a home 2 years ago when the interest rates were 3% and homes were priced much differently. And the fact of the matter is that fair market value changes every day. And what is fair market value? Fair market value is what the average home is selling for per square foot in a neighborhood. So for example, if a home is, let's say that the square foot average is $150 a square foot in a neighborhood, and people are paying, let's say that equals out to $300,000, and let's say 5 homes are sold in there in 6 months. And those homes, then let's say everybody was bidding 15 to 20K over, which would make the house about 320K, 315 to 320K. What that means now is 6 months later, that same home that you could have bought 6 months ago at a lower interest rate means that now that house is 320, maybe even 320, maybe even 330, because people are going to still be paying over the asking price. And now where are you at? You're wishing you would have made a move. And I get it, it's frustrating, I get it, but here's the thing. In this market, as a buyer, you need to plan on possibly putting an offer on at least 3 to 4 homes. That's average, that's what I see, that's what I'm doing with a lot of my clients. If we get lucky, maybe it's the first one, but usually there's a few offers going on the table at one time. So with all that being said, this is not necessarily a bad time to purchase a home. All it means is that what has happened is that we went from, let's say you were approved for $350,000 for a home at 4%. Well, now you may be at 300. But what does that mean when the interest rates go up from 5.5 to 6%? It may mean you can only afford 275. So what it means is you just afford less house. That's all that means. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just changes what you can actually do. So again, it's not a big indicator that we're going to have some big recession or everything's going to fall and everything's going to fall down and the economy's going to collapse. The increase in interest rates actually mean that we're having a pretty good economy. Now, will we see a shift with sellers with this? I don't know. We'll have to wait and we'll have to find out. We may or we may not, especially with still having low inventory. So what's important to note here, I kind of wrote a couple of notes down here, is one, you'd have a knowledgeable and experienced agent in the field who knows the real estate market. You need that. You need someone who's going to be upfront with you, someone who is going to be honest and transparent. And you need someone who's going to put you in reality. Because if you think that you can get a house at listing price right now, that's not going to happen. You might as well not even go look at homes. You're going to disappoint yourself, you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to waste your time. And that's just a fact. And I hate to be so candid about it, but it's true. And guys, I don't work with every buyer that I get. And why do I not work with every buyer? Because if they're not being realistic about what the market conditions are, which I cannot control, then we're wasting everybody's time. And I don't want you to get frustrated, and I don't want to be frustrated, and the sellers don't want to get frustrated. So this is where a good agent is going to give you the facts, be honest and transparent, and let you know what to expect. If that person's not doing that, it might be time to move on. Second thing is finding a local lender. And the reason why I'm saying a local lender is because they know that market and they're used to seeing these contracts come in, okay? And not only do they know the market, but they know the people in the market, such as myself, a buyer's agent and a listing agent. I do both. I play on both sides. So when a lender calls me and they give me the information or 411 about the buyer being a good buyer and they have a good loan product, I'm going to relay that to my seller. Hey, this out of the 5 offers we got here, they have this, and this, and that. And the lender actually called me. That shows me that they have a pretty good lender, and they're probably going to show up. And instead of somebody that's coming in from all these other states and who doesn't know you from Tom, Dick, and Harry, do they really care about your business? Because the local lender, they may see you in the grocery store, so they're going to give you good customer service, great customer service usually, and then they're also going to give you the best information possible because, again, their reputation's on the line locally. People out from wherever you may be getting from out of the county or state or whatever, maybe they're just trying to get a paycheck. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they do care. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But having a local lender does help when you have multiple offer situations. So if you're thinking of using an outside state lender, I would encourage you to reconsider and think about a local lender because there are some upswings to that, some upsides to that, so to say, some pros. So again, just to recap, the increase in rates indicates that we are still having a healthy market. Inventory is still low, so you can still expect some of the same things that I would tell you to do to get your offer accepted. You need to have a knowledgeable agent, and you might want to think about switching over to a local lender. And again, it is not a bad time to purchase right now. It's still a wonderful time to purchase. We're still below the 50-year average. So if you're thinking about buying or you're thinking about selling and buying, take advantage of this opportunity while it's still available. And if you're selling, take advantage of the equity you have in your home. It's going to really help you. I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, please give me a call at 864-430-2451, and I'd be more than happy to help you.